Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Thursday, October 9th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this would be a video for you. First off, a couple quick clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market is still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement on video. And second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So ticker symbol number one, we are looking at OPEN, and overall the chart is fine. I'm defining that via the sideways channel right here. So you can see over the past few weeks, the price has just been chopping back and forth in the channel. So that's what I mean by overall it's okay. Near term wise though, very disappointing movement. The price did break up above outside of that channel there, spent some time up above it right there, but then today you can see very clearly has drifted back inside of the channel, pretty much right at the midpoint. So again, broad scope of things, everything's fine. It's just back inside of the channel, but still a disappointing movement for anybody that was probably excited. Finally, the channel has been broken. The price is above it. Not anymore. The price has drifted back inside of it, which is why now this area of support needs to go back to being an area of resistance right there at $9.13. So if you've watched past videos, you've heard me talk about this channel before, but again, the price is back in it. So bottom of the channel support down here at 786. Top of the channel resistance once again right there at 913. And we now know if the price does break above 913, then 970 would be the next key level. But one hurdle at a time, and the first now need to get back above the 913 mark. So like I said, big picture wise, the chart's still fine, but yeah, very disappointing in the nearer term for the bullish people out there as the price is, like I said, drifted right back inside of that channel. Next one here, RGTI, and this is a little tricky to talk about because it's all about perspective. What do I mean? Well, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you bought right there, or maybe you bought right there, and your plan was to buy and sell within 7 minutes, well then yes, from that standpoint, the chart's looking pretty rough because yes, there has, no doubt about it, been a deeper pullback from that point of view. Now, from the other point of view, those that care about just the broad scope of it all, even with the pullback here, the price still has plenty of opportunity to build higher bases, and that's where moving forward, let's change this real quick, change that to green for support, but this area of support right here at $40.75. If you go back through the history of things, you can see right here, did a good job of acting as support a couple times right there. But point being, and I'm not saying it'll come down and even test it, but let's say it comes down and tests it and then does something like this. Now, emphasis here on big picture. From the big picture perspective, what would you have? Well, you'd have a set of lows here, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows there, you'd have lows down here. And if you envision each one of these as stair steps, again, big picture perspective, you'd still very clearly have stair steps making progress in the upwards direction. So that's where I say overall the chart is still perfectly fine. Again, I am well aware. A day trader, flipper, scalper, somebody that bought right there, does not care about these stair steps. So that's why I'm trying to make the point of distinction based somebody that's caring more so about a day trader standpoint for somebody that cares about the overarching point of view. So overall, yeah, bigger pullback, but still plenty of opportunity to build a higher base. Next one here, we are looking at YYAI. Pretty crazy mover, but now after the dust has begun to settle here, we have a nice little pattern here. So let me get this pattern drawn into place. So we have this lower part of the pattern right here. Let me change that to green to represent support. And then we have the upper part of the pattern. Oops. There we go. Bring that down right there. There we go. And this is what I would call a falling wedge pattern. Now, you may think a falling wedge is a bearish pattern. Actually, it's a bullish pattern. Now, on that note, and I wish I could say trading was this easy. Just because something's in a bullish pattern does not mean for sure guaranteed if it consolidates out, comes up here and breaks through there, that break is going to create upside explosion or anything like that. Now, is it valid? Is it a reasonable question to throw out there that maybe a break right there could create upside buying pressure? Yeah, that is a more than plausible outcome. But again, there are no guarantees. But at the end of the day, a lot of drama around this one, but with the falling wedge, and now the opportunity for potentially a worthwhile turnaround. Now, when I say turnaround, I don't mean a full-blown reversal, but from a trading standpoint, you don't need a whole lot of movement, especially on a penny stock, for the percentages to start to add up. So if you do like falling wedges, you like penny stocks, certainly keep an eye on it. Next one here, SOXS, and a pretty brutal mover on this one. Talked about the pattern yesterday here. We had this pennant pattern, but just because something is in a bullish pattern doesn't mean it's going to for sure work out. And you can see right here, nasty opening 30 minutes, price came down, broke through the bottom part of that channel, And I mean, the bleeding has just continued, which now makes another whole scenario possible. So I'm going to get rid of those levels. And the level here that I'm very curious about moving forward, at least I think it is. Yeah, there. Okay, there we go. Is this level right here at the $4.10 mark. Last time the price was down around $4.10. Right? Nope, you can't even see that's behind my ugly mug. There we go. So last time the price was down here at that level, it bounced. Look at this. Just hovered around this area and bounced. Actually, way more than a bounce at that point. Once again, the price is nearing that $4.10 mark. Now, again, there are no guarantees. So I'm not saying that because it's bounced before, it's for sure guaranteed going to go down there and bounce once again. Not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that plausible? Is that reasonable? I think absolutely. Now, if the price had never ever bounced from 410 before, and I'm sitting here saying, hey, it's looking like it could bounce from 410, you'd be totally justified to say, well, based on what? What makes you think that? But in this situation, it has. So again, does it guarantee anything? No. Does it make it plausible? Absolutely. So if you like to play these potential kind of double bottom type situations where you might get a bounce, yeah, that $4.10 mark presents a very interesting situation. Next one here, BURU, and the beast move continues. Updates need to be done, so I'm going to get rid of those lines as they serve their purpose for now. And at this point, we have a very well-defined pattern. So let's get this drawn out. We have our area of resistance right here. The bottom part of the pattern right there. Let me change that to green for sport. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let's keep it one color so everybody can see it. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. Have the big upwards movement right here. And then for you golfers, let me put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. As I talked about previously, just because something's in a bullish pattern doesn't mean for sure guaranteed it's going to go upwards. But it's certainly more than plausible to think that if the price consolidates some more and can break up through the top part, that level right there could create some upside buying pressure. So like I've said before, not guaranteed, but a more than plausible question to throw out there as a possibility. So if you like bull pennants, you like penny stocks, definitely keep an eye on this one. Real quick, want to take a break and help you solve a very common problem out there, and that is people wanting to be a day trader, meaning you can make as many trades as you want every single day, but they can't because of that pattern day trader rule. So if that describes your situation, then definitely check out what I've been doing, and you can not only see that there's no pattern day trader rule, but this market's open pretty much around the clock. And quite frankly, this market moves even better than small caps and penny stocks and low floats. I know that sounds crazy. Totally get it, but that's why I'm inviting you to come check out the live stream. I live stream Monday through Friday, and I start at 11 a.m. Eastern. And this is exactly what I've been doing. So I put my money where my mouth is. So if you want to see how this all plays out in the real world, ask me any questions, then definitely swing by the live stream. But yes, you don't have to worry about the pattern day trader rule, and you can get started for very small amounts of money. So in other words, you can have very minimal risk and then a whole lot of upside potential. But I do know that sounds a little too good to be true. I understand. So that's why I say swing by the live stream and see it with your very own eyes. Next one here, BULL, and had a very rough start to the day with the gap down and then dropped even more. But after that, the price has now battled back very nicely. So in describing the battling back there of the price, we are now starting to construct the pattern here that is formed. So that trend line right there, again, just illustrates how the price has been building higher lows the entire day. But then across the top here, we do have this area that seems as though it could be a problem. It's been a problem right now around 1270. And let me just, again, keep this the same color so you can see it better. So like I said, we have this problem area right there, aka resistance. But we do have this very nice upwards move there via the lower trend line. And this would be called an ascending triangle pattern. So you can see right now, as time goes by, those lows are getting higher and higher. Space is running out of the pattern. So at this point, it does become a question mark as well, who's ultimately going to win? Do the bulls win with a break to the upside? Do the bears win with a break to the downside? But an answer is going to need to come sooner than later because, like I said, you can see here, the pattern is running out of room. So the price is probably at some point on Thursday going to make up its mind in terms of who's going to win this battle, the bulls or the bears. But if you like these sorts of patterns with the ascending triangles, then certainly keep an eye on BULL. Next one here, BITF, very, very nice upwards mover. So definitely just going to get some updates here as this thing is now putting in the highest highs it's seen in, I don't know about all-time highs, but certainly been a long time. So let's first start about what I would call the ideal level of support. And say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute strongest moving forward? And that would be if the price can say up there above $3.80. Now, if the price falls below there, that doesn't mean the chart's destroyed or ruined or anything like that. But yeah, if the price could manage to stay above there, that would certainly be a great sign of power moving forward. Taking a step back and looking at all this from the bigger picture point of view, that's where the purple line there comes into play, the 50-period simple moving average. Keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher So if you just envision that as kind of an overall trend line that's drawn itself for you, then as long as the price stays above the trend line, then the overall trend is still in the bullish perspective. Again, sure, staying above 380 would be best case scenario, but if the price falls below there, you still do have plenty of opportunity to build that higher base, which is what that purple line is representing. In terms of areas of resistance, no need to overcomplicate this. Just ask the question, where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at 405. So 405 is the current level. Again, that's just based off of where the price finally stopped going up. But anyway, look at it. Very, very nice looking uptrend. Next one here, BBAI. And in my mind, two key technical levels. The first key level is this overarching moving average right there, that pink line, which on my chart denotes a very famous 200 period simple moving average. And even if you have a basic understanding of charts, I'm sure you've heard of that 200 period moving average, and you know that when the price is above it, then from the bigger picture trend perspective, you do still have to concede that the bulls are still overall in control. And you can see that right here. This has a nice upward slope to it. So overall, the price is still building those higher bases. So moving forward, definitely keep an eye on that. And as a key area of support right now valued at 704. And if the price were to come down there and break down below it, again, I'm still not going to say the chart's destroyed, but just understand the further and further the price separates to the downside, the more and more worrisome it becomes for the bulls. On the flip side, the other key area that stands out to me is you got to think a lot of people have drawn that trend line right there, and a lot of people are watching it. And when a lot of people are watching the same levels and wondering the same things, it doesn't guarantee anything, but it can produce some very dynamic movement. So if the price comes up here and breaks through there, in my opinion, it is a more than valid question to throw out there of, could there be some sort of self-fulfilling prophecy where the price breaks through there, and then people are saying, well, I'm a breakout trader. Oh, look, that's breaking out. Oh, I'm supposed to buy because I'm a breakout trader, and that's breaking out, and then they just buy. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but I think that is a plausible outcome. So from a resistance standpoint, definitely keep an eye on that trend line. Next one here, AMD, the beast move continues. So let's get some levels here mapped out. So as talked about on the previous chart, we'll talk about that ideal level. So the ideal level being, what would make this chart look the strongest moving forward. And that would definitely be if the price can stay up there above the 227-ish mark. So keep an eye on that. But again, if the price falls below 227, that doesn't mean AMD is game over or anything like that. Because taking a step back and looking at everything from the bigger picture, that's where the purple line comes into play, that 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, then as long as the price stays above there, the bulls are in perfectly, they're fine, in my opinion at least. Nothing can go straight up just because there's pullbacks. Not the end of the world. Case in point right here from when that news was first announced. Pretty nasty pullback, but you can see it was not anywhere close to dropping below the purple line. Another pullback there, stayed above the purple line, and you can see right now back to new highs. So again, I'm not saying that just because things pull back, it'll for sure go back up. My point is that as long as it stays above that purple line, that is certainly the ideal situation. And then in terms of areas of resistance, good problem to have, essentially in blue sky breakout territory right now. And blue sky breakouts are definitely a good problem to have. Next one here, TSLA Tesla. And all things considered, the price is still just stuck in this sideways range. So, assuming you care about the big picture of things, nothing has changed other than fluctuating within the channel being defined as top of the channel up there at 459.50, bottom of the channel down there at 411.60. But within that channel, that's where we'll zoom in. We got some interesting action. And again, one of these, what I would call a self-fulfilling prophecy trend lines, where you got to think that everybody and their brother's uncle has drawn a trend line very similar to that. So does that guarantee anything? It doesn't. But in my opinion, it makes sense that the price were to come up here and break out there. You're going to have the people that are going to say, I'm a breakout trader. That's breaking out. I'm supposed to buy. Therefore, they just buy. So keep an eye on that dynamic right there, and we'll see if that can happen or not. Let me put the question mark right there just because I'm not saying that will happen, but that's the question mark. Can it actually happen? And then in terms of areas of support, again, yes, you have that overall level down there. But what I would consider is the much more preferable area that you'd want to see hold as support is this gap close location area right there around $430.50. So if the price were to drop down there and break below it, again, chart's not destroyed because it would still be within the sideways channel. But yeah, then the chart opens up where the price could realistically be headed down and touch the bottom. And if you're bullish, I don't think anybody's really interested in seeing the price drop all the way back down there. But yeah, all in all, interesting setup. We'll see how it continues to play out. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you are sick and tired of the pattern day trading rule, or you just flat out want to get involved in a different market that trades with better movement and you have less risk, then definitely check out what I've been doing. And you can, like I said, swing by the live stream, ask me questions, or if you just want to learn more, just check out the link that you see at the screen there, and you can learn more about what I've been doing. But it's a great thing. I've been doing it for quite a while now. And, like I said, it makes a whole lot of sense when you consider just how little is being risked and then how much upside potential you can get. So swing by the live stream, and like I said, let me know if you have any questions. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that like button, and hopefully I'll see you on the live stream.